Today we will continue to introduce technical indicators. After knowing the moving averages and MACD, let's take a look at a common technical indicator, Kd. Let's go from the formula for calculating the indicator. The principle and application of three aspects to understand this indicator in detail. Both the moving average and the MACD are trend indicators. It is used more as a direction to judge the trend. The Kd indicator is different. Kd is an oscillator. It is not used to determine the direction of the market. It's used to provide a signal to enter the market, so there's a lot of use. It is an indicator that determines the trend, such as the general line MACD, and Kd as a signal providing indicator. Combinations form a complete trading strategy. The Kd indicator is also known as the stochastic oscillator. The value of the Kd indicator ranges from 0 to 100. In the chart, it's made up of 4 parts, and there's a 2 to 0 axis. There's an 8-0 axis and 2 wires, a fast line and a slow line. The 2 threads also follow each other tightly. Constant fluctuations in the range of 0, 100. The CD indicator is a bit more complicated. Let's take a step-by-step explanation of the default parameters of the indicator. The first step in the calculation of the Kd indicator is to calculate the immature random value. RSV-RV is calculated by subtracting the closing price of the current candlestick by nearly 9 sticks. The lowest price of the candlestick is divided by the last 9 candlesticks. The highest price minus the lowest price multiplied by 100. The 9 parameter corresponds to the range of RV. If you change the parameter to 1433, the calculated value of the RSV is the range of the last 14 candlesticks. Go for the highest and lowest price. The second step is to calculate the value of K, which is equal to 2/3 multiplied by the previous day. The K value plus 1/3 multiplied by the RSV value for the day. If you don't have the previous day's K, use 50 instead. To put it simply, the K value is the RSV calculation. The weighted moving average with a period of 3 steps 3 calculates the D value. The D value is equal to 2/3 times the previous day. The D value plus 1/3 multiplied by the K value for the day. If you don't have the previous day's D value, use 50 instead. To put it simply, the D value is the K value. A weighted moving average with a period of 3. The default parameters of the Kd indicator are 933.9. The corresponding value range of the Kd indicator is the value range. The first 3 corresponds to the K value. That is, the period of the weighted moving average of the RSV. The second 3 corresponds to the value of the D line. That is, the period of the K line weighted moving average. That's what the 3 parameters mean. Understand the process of indicator calculation throughout the calculation process. The immature random value RSV was calculated first. The K value is then a weighted moving average based on the RSV. The D value, in turn, is a weighted moving average of the K value. The core of understanding the Kd indicator is to understand the immature random value. RSV. Let's take a look at the calculation process through the movement of the candlesticks. Will be easier to understand. SV. Let's break down the formula, and the formula is divided into 2 parts. One part is the closing price of the current candlestick, calculated by subtracting the lowest price of nearly 9 candlesticks. In fact, it is the increase in the current price from the lowest price. It can be simply understood as an increase. The other part is the recent high of 9 candlesticks minus. It is understood that the recent rise of 9K lines is higher than the amplitude. We know that the value range of Kd is 0, 100. So when will the RSV value be 0, and when will it be 100? After disassembling the formula, we know that the calculation of RSV is understandable. It is the amplitude of the recent 9K line gains compared to the upper amplitude. If the closing price of the current price is equal to the high price of the last 9 candlesticks, that the increase is equal to the amplitude, and the RSV is 100. If the current closing price is equal to the lowest price of the last 9 candlesticks, that is the current closing price minus the most recent one. The lowest price of 9 candlesticks is equal to 0, which means that the increase is equal to 0. The result of the RSV calculation is equal to 0. What values can we observe? The biggest impact on RSV is the current closing price. The value of the Kd indicator is affected by the current price close. Changes in the closing price can quickly affect changes in the Kd indicator. The Kd indicator can react quickly to price changes. It is also because of this feature that the Kd indicator is used. The Kd indicator is mainly used as a signal for entry into the market. Generally speaking, it reaches the 2-0 axis to form a golden cross and crosses the 2-0 axis as a signal to enter the long market. The indicator reaches the 8-0 axis and forms a dead cross and crosses below the 8-0 axis as a signal to enter the short. Why can the Kd indicator be used as a signal to enter the market? Because the Kd indicator can be on the back of a period of continuous ups and downs. The price reacts quickly to the reverse movement. Let's go back to the calculation of the core RSV of the Kd indicator. If the current price continues to rise, the current closing price is close to the recent high of 9 candlesticks. The recent rise of 9 candlesticks is close to the amplitude. Then the RSV value will be larger. Generally speaking, a continuous rise will make the Kd value increases all the way above the 80 axis. If the price has been rising continuously, the value of Kd will always remain above the 80 axis. When after a continuous rise, the closing price of the candlestick has reversed to a certain extent, will make the increase be calculated compared to the amplitude on the calculation. The resulting RSV value decreases dramatically. Reflected in the Kd indicator is the formation of a dead cross above the 80 axis and under the 80 axis. And it can also be seen from the default parameters of Kd. It is only based on the recent 9 candlesticks. All that is observed is the change in the current closing price. So Kd just provides a signal to enter the market. It is you who determine the direction of the trade. When looking for an entry trading opportunity, an indicator that gives you entry signals. Therefore, Kd is usually used in conjunction with other indicators. The easiest way to use it is to use the moving average or MACD and other indicators to determine the direction of the market. Then use the Kd indicator to enter the market. For example, we use the MACD indicator in combination with Kd. Indicators combine to form a simple strategy. The MACD fast line is above the 0 axis, judging that the market is a bullish trend. Then the Kd indicator appears to reach the 2-0 axis. And when it crosses above the 2-0 axis, it is used as a signal to enter the long market. I can mark it, the location where the entry signal appears. We can see that a trend unfolds at the beginning of a period, according to the Kd, as a signal for entry. The indicator must be after you have identified your needs. A more efficient tool to achieve your goals. Before using it, it's important to understand the needs of your strategy. for metrics learning and use. It's not that you can't make a profit using technical indicators. Rather, it is necessary to understand that technical indicators belong to the level of Qi in the Tao spell weapon. For the study of indicators, understand the formula and understand how the market affects the change of indicators. Then you know more about this indicator. Knowledge of the ethical and legal aspects of the market. It is the level and stage of your trading that determines it. If you think that technical indicators are all there is to the market, then your research on the market can only stop at technical indicators. It's hard to keep improving. That's all for this video. Here's a wave of feedback from you if you think the content is easy to understand. Please deduct 1 if you feel that the content is not easy to understand. Please deduct 2 if you feel that the content has helped you a little bit. Please also help me with 1 click triple in a row. If you want to see future updates, don't forget to follow.